Welcome to Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Wow, it's been a while, but anyway, here's the update for March for the sailing vessel Rum Rations. Getting ready to sail. Shout out to my neighbor Greg in the next slip at the marina who gave me some of the coffee that he roasts. I had the folks from Max Sails come out and do a full rigging inspection, and everything came back good. That was quite a relief. I did some research on outboard motor mounts for double rails, and they were quite expensive, so I decided to build my own. I wasn't completely happy with the way things turned out or where it was located. The next big project was to address some of the soft spots in the deck. You can see all these holes that are drilled. The holes were drilled to inject epoxy. The holes were drilled large enough to allow moisture to escape as the epoxy was injected. Since all of the soft spots were in areas that were surfaced by non-skid, it made sense to just paint all of the non-skid areas on the deck. Here you see all of the non-skid areas taped off and all of the holes have been drilled. Soft spots were mainly just outside of the cockpit on the starboard and port side, with a small area aft on both sides. And you can see here those holes have been drilled as well. The epoxy is injected into the holes, allowed to dry as it expands, and then the top is chiseled off and then sealed up and then lightly sanded. I got the new lettering on the bow, on the starboard and port sides, and on the transom. That had been on my list for quite a while, and I was very happy to finally get it done. Here you can see I've got the primer on the non-skid area. And then final coats, I went with a light gray. After Max Sails did the rigging inspection, I took the sails over to have those inspected and some patchwork done. I got the sails back and got those hung and rigged, and she's ready for sailing now. I've got the cooler lashed to the deck as I'm planning to have some family aboard and take her out for a day. I recently learned a lot more about marine refrigerators than I ever thought I'd know. Anyway, it turns out if you open the door frequently to get beverages out, the refrigerator doesn't hold the cold. It loses it very, very quickly. It turns out refrigerators on a sailboat are not easily accessible. It took some work to pull the refrigerator out, but I did. I checked the condenser, the compressor, the evaporator, and learned how all of those pieces and parts work together and how to determine if they're working properly. As it turns out, everything was working properly. I got the refrigerator reinstalled and let it run, and through some testing or trial and error, I determined that yes, if you open the door too frequently, it will lose substantial amounts of coolness. Anyway, the refrigerator seems to be working. As we continue our tour of the deck, here's my little Wi-Fi antenna I added to boost the Wi-Fi while in the marina. It's not permanent and it's not for cruising. It's easily removable. Anyway, I think the deck turned out really nicely. Here you can see I also have my new dinghy. That's a whole nother story. The other dinghy was a total loss, and I ended up just getting rid of it because it couldn't be repaired. I put too much time and money into it and just had to dump it. I'm still not happy with this outboard motor mount, and I'm certain I will be changing it. I did add the flag to the back and changed the rigging a little bit for the dinghy. I added a crossbar between the blocks, and you can see it here just briefly, and that really helped stabilize them, and it keeps the lines from tangling and turning when you raise and lower the dinghy into the water. I finally got around to cleaning the wood on the companionway and giving the cockpit a good scrubbing. It really needed it. I love this captain's chair. It's quite comfortable. There's a nice hatch above, which you can pull the sunshade over and be able to see the mainsail as it goes up and keep an eye on it so that it doesn't get caught in the lazy jacks. Here you can see we have all the controls, and the windlass and bow thruster available from the captain's chair. Stand for our secondary navigation tool. And I've installed a little portable AC unit, as this boat did not come equipped with a built-in AC, and it really helped as the temperatures got higher. I'll probably do a little bit different configuration with the exhaust for this AC unit, but so far so good. It worked to really cool down the whole boat. I mounted the EPIRB here in an easily accessible location. I brought my chartboard to the boat and have my backup navigation system ready to go in the form of an iPad. I really like this glass that you can use as a magnifier on the charts. It really helps, even without my glasses, I'm able to read the detail on the charts. Look at that magnification. What a lifesaver. One of the greatest nav tools I've ever purchased. Anyway, it was time to get her out on the water and have a little fun. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.